Foundations. This is a core-ish set, but the big thing here and the huge departure from MTG is that it's going to be a standard legal set, but it's not going to rotate with standard. It's going to be legal until 2029, right out of the gate. They're just
what did you just say?
Right out of the gate.
From standard?
Yes.
For standard?
What they're doing is they're taking a group of cards and they're saying this is going to be the bottom of standard.
Green should have a 1-cost mana dork.
Dude, that's the craziest thing is that we're going to...
Green will have it.
Always, for the next 5 years, we're going to... They've just determined that standard is okay to have a 1 mana dork as long as it's restricted to green mana that it produces. We'll see. But yes, the big news about Foundations, it is a group of cards that will always be legal in standard at least for the next 5 years. The way it's announced now.
So much can happen in 5 years. Are you serious?
I am Joel.
I'm going to be well into my 40s.
I'm going to be nearly into my 40s, Jake.
Oh my God.
At the old folks home that I visit you at, we are going to be playing Foundations, and you're going to go, I'm so tired of Land War.
I remember back in 2024.
And I'll be like, Jake, you are 43. Stop acting like this and snap out of it.
You remember how I said I was going to cry earlier?
Foundations.
I'm feeling about 3 minutes away from crying right now. So let's take this a different direction.
Can I make you cry by showing you a kitty cat?
That is adorable.
1 black.
You're reversing my mood and I am here for it. Okay.
2 black, 1 other for a 1/1. Creature enters with 8 revival counters on it if you cast it.
Okay.
When this creature dies, if it had a revival counter on it, return it to the battlefield with 1 fewer revival counters on it at the beginning of the next end step. The cat comes back. We have a perpetually legal black cat now. Perpetually. 5 years. 5 years is a lot in MTG, Jake. I think you're 100% right. A lot can change in 5 years, but this is the plan. They're telling us this is the plan. This set wasn't even announced at the beginning of the year. This set wasn't announced until the summer of the year. It's coming out in November.
This is such an aristocrats piece, is it not? I mean, this is a really good, aside from it being, adorable, it's a pretty good card. It's like a reassembling skeleton that you don't have to pay for. You have to make that initial investment.
And proliferate, dude. Yeah, 1 return and you're better rate than reassembling. And
this card is so good.
If you can proliferate, it's literally always going to have revival counters.
I just this is very good.
It's a very interesting card, and we got this version of it too.
Oh, it's like a Maine Coon version of it.
I will always love
so much more
Jake's reactions to cats. You saw just saw a cat.
Much poofier version.
Whoa, look at that cat.
I mean,
that is
this
too
is
good.
Awesome.
Bro, 8 scratch marks on the tombstone. Curiosity stopped keeping score is the flavor text. Hardest flavor text of my life.
This is great.
This card looks kind of cool. You can't expect that a set that they expect to be legal for 5 years to have banger stuff in it. I mean, obviously, they're still going to do our tiered approach to all the cards where you're going to have top level stuff, but I just can't imagine.
No. Omniscience? No.
Omniscience is going to be perpetually in standard because this is going to be in Foundation.
They want people to play around with this and see if there's a way to make it a thing. I see. Okay. I mean, this card is stupid, but there are a ton of hoops that you have to jump through to make a card like this work and happen. And if you do resolve it, you should win. But yeah, that's interesting.
And then you're going to have cards like this that it's the first time they're being printed at all. This is just...
Give like a basic ass anthem to Selesnya players.
Right. Okay. Exactly. And so from a, Day of Judgment's going to be in standard for 5 years.
This makes sense to me. This is fine.
4 mana.
Little Zendikar action.
4 mana board wipe seems fine. But then I think the one that's got everybody's head turning is that they were like, oh yeah, by the way, The 5-year reign of Llanowar Elves begins in November.
So does this mean that every set isn't going to have a mana dork? What happens if we get a gilded goose? What happens if we get, because then you have 8
Yep.
that are your 1-drop, and you can consistently plan for that. I mean, there's going to be people that build Llanowar Elf into their deck just because, even if we can't get the full 8. I do like that this is an opportunity for people to show off their cool Llanowar Elves that they've been collecting and getting from Secret Lair products and whatever else.
M19.
So that's kind of cool.
I was trying to figure out when was the last time we saw Llanowar Elves in Standard. And so it was in Core 19. So it's like not that big of a deal. Probably. If it was fine in M19. And so
I mean, it's I don't know how I feel about it.
There
honestly.
are lots of cool Llanowar Elves at this point, aren't there? Oh no, it's kind of like these top lists. But this one is tight. 30th anniversary. 30th anniversary stamp. Retro frame is pretty sweet. And then these full art, these are the ones I've got on Arena. But
I like those ones
full
too.
art game open house promos from Dominaria. From a collectability standpoint, I feel like this set has to kind of be a nothing burger for us to analyze, because if you're picking cards to be in a 5-year set, they're going to be reprinted infinitely. I feel like it's going to be one of the most printed sets of all time. I just don't see how it wouldn't be. I don't know what the approach for distribution on this one's going to be, but it just seems to me like they can't do serialized in this one, because it's unless they're like, this is run 2 or whatever.
You can't make it super pushed. I'd be interested to see what the land cycle is in this. Like, for example, what if the land cycle is like, I don't know.
There's a lot.
Painlands.
I was going to say, there's a lot of interesting what ifs there, because Painlands has something to say. Dude, 5 years of Shocks in Standard. They just reprinted Shocks.
I mean, that would be
they're like,
a good way to
we're going to reprint them again.
Ensure. I mean, maybe you have to have something about the product that's attractive, or else people just aren't going to buy it.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to be the kind of thing where it sits on shelves and people are like, hey, do you want to buy the junky product that has Omniscience in it?
Right.
Like,
well, I mean, you're right. And it's going to have
otherwise I'll just buy my Llanowar Elves, or pull them out of a box. Like, everybody has Llanowar Elf, right?
Exactly. For it to even be relevant, you are going to have to see cards pop up out of this set occasionally over the next 5 years. I guess maybe I don't understand what this product is
Shocks
for.
would be fine. I think Shocks would be interesting, because Shocklands have already been pummeled down to like that $10 to $15 range. So putting an attractive land cycle in the product would probably be a good idea.
I just bought a base breeding pool today. It was $16. But yeah, that range.
Yeah, and because what was it? Ravnica Remastered printed them in old border and all the borderless and all these different treatments. You're able to
3 major ones, not counting foils.
Right. And so, it's already been hit hard. And so if you wanted to just do that again and then say, this is where those are going to live, we're not going to put them in any more sets or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an interesting issue.
I see people saying checklands, that would probably be the go-to,
like
right?
Dragon Skull Summit, stuff like that. The checks first one. Yeah. I mean, that could be good. This is an interesting one, because it's like, maybe you take all the mythics and rares in here that are just printed in this set. No, but they'll just be reprinted. I mean, you can't just print this set now and have it legal for 5 years, right? Right? I mean, standard sets are 3, and they'll stop reprinting, or they'll stop printing that stuff anytime.
See, the key here to me would be, this is cheap. Is like, this is $100 a box.
And it's going to be draftable. That would be like, he did confirm it's going to be a draftable set too. So it's not like, whatever the Assassin's Creed shit is.
I think this would be good if it were a cheap product compared to like play boosters. But if it's just going to be like play boosters, I'm looking at, like borderless cards and extended art treatments and stuff. I don't think you can expect people to pay as much as, a set that isn't a foundational set. Like, this is essentially a return to core.
Right.
And I never ever liked opening core packs.
It was fun draft.
Like, ever.
It was fun limited.
No, it's a very fun draft because you're drafting stuff like freaking Doomblade and
right, exactly.
Yeah,
dude.
like just easy ass kill spells and like
yeah.
I'm just gonna draft blue white flyers and
exactly
crack in the air.
Yeah.
You know.
I hope my
Yeah.
rare. I hope I pull like a Frost Titan.
Yeah, get my Grave Titan online and
Right.
you know
I win.
Fiery Temper or whatever. I'm playing for 3 damage to any target. I'm
Right.
paying a red and 1 other. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Shock.
I'm really interested to see how they play out a 5-year legal set that is
And how many
obviously not
cards?
created to go into any other formats than standard.
Yeah.
Like what who is this for? How are they going to make it a little bit for everybody to interest collectors who want to buy it? You know, is this Omniscience and a couple other key things going to be enough? Can they print starter commander decks? Maybe they did that a year or 2 ago and they were decent. Nobody really wanted to buy them, but they were like good gifts. And I think that
They shouldn't.
you know, starter people, right? But I'm just trying to figure out where they're going to sell any of this set. Like the collector aspect, you could put commander cards in there, reprint Fierce Guardianship and be like, you don't have a commander in standard, so you can't play this card in standard. You print, just like go massive trolley.
Oh, I see.
And you have a standard legal set that you also print a bunch of cards that
Deflecting
explicitly
slot,
say
Deadly Rollick.
commander on them because
Yeah.
they're automatic, just de facto not legal in standard. And that's how you'll get commander players. Bro, if that happened, I hope I'm opening up pictures of just like Gavin and Mark Rosewater smiling and flicking me off. I want good shit in those packs. If we're going the route of the stuff that has commander the word in Oracle text,
No, bro.
that's what you're gonna find in Foundations.
This is what they're gonna do. You're gonna have a set that is completely basic ass stuff with Omniscience being like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And then what's gonna end up happening is they're going to put serialized something in it, which is just like a massive chase that isn't even part of the regular set.
What are they? And then split it, have Foundations the follow up after all of the serialized stuff runs out.
Or let's just
We
say
need to be
this.
open boxes of this
treasure
Jake,
cards
in 2028.
non-serialized treasure cards that are like hot reprints of highly desirable cards that are not legal in standard. And then you're going to have people come out of the woodwork to like open this set because hey, at least it's not an unset. Let's look at it like Infinity. People open that just for cool reprints of Shocklands. What if you did something like that within this? You give the collectors something to go after instead of just like
instead of Infinity, I think what you're talking about more is like a mystical archive that has cards people give a shit about, but obviously aren't standard legal.
Exactly. Right. Something like that, like an expedition land slot or like a masterpiece slot or like a...
So, but then they can't aim too high because you can't charge too much for this because this is supposed to be an intro level foundational product. And so those in that special guest or in that mystical, in that foundational archive, whatever the hell you want to call it, they can't be that great because we still
then here's
want
what they have to do.
$3, $4 packs.
They have to make everything have a cat on it. Because that cat, I'm not buying that card unless it's a big poofy cat like that. But because they made it a big poofy cat, I'm like, I want to get that cat card. So I think
I pulled
what
this
they'll
up
have to
and
do-
Jake went, whoa!
the Maine Coon. Yeah. So that's what I think they would have to do is they would have to put more cats on stuff and then you're going to get people to open it.
Very possible. I did see, and yeah, D. Clem is right. You can tell from these, they've confirmed they're going to have collector packs of it. And so they will have some kind of treatment. Foundational treatment. What would you do? Retro cards? What are you
With
going
a cat.
What are you going to lean? Every
Cat
art.
treatment.
We just need cat the set. Cats. Feline. Feline. We call this
Cat-
Felinia.
The cat treatment.
Welcome to
It's like
Felinia.
we took all of these
Meow.
cards and we put a cat on them. I guarantee you it works. It will work with. There will be some people that hate it, that are like, I can't fucking believe that they've done this.
There would be
and
some people
that just don't like cats.
There would be some people that were feline with it.
And then there are going to be a ton of people that will buy it just because it has cats. So you got to hedge your bets.
Jake, when we're talking about cats and I hit you with their feeling feline about it, I need a reaction. Just any reaction.
Wait, tell me what it was. I'm sorry. I was thinking and not listening. What did you say?
That some people will be feline with it.
Oh.
And you just...
Like, fine.
You just...
Feline.
I felt like a shrimp going through the baleen teeth of a whale. I was so...
I'm so sorry. I feel like I let you down as a partner here. This is not good.
That is one of the more disappointing parts of the last 20 minutes of my life.
Damn.
Foundation.
Chat, I let down Joel today. He had a pretty good joke. He turned feline and fine into a combination.
Today, my buddy had a pretty good joke, and I brushed right past it.
I brushed right past a pretty good joke.
Like a rock in the river, Jake was unaffected.
Yeah. Unaffected. That's true.